Woo, and we're on, and I'm going to spotlight Jay for everyone so that we all
Ah,
see Jay Preston right there in the middle.
Tim is so good at running these things. I tell you, I mean, if you should be getting paid for every time you run these. Oh! What is that? It's a VORG. It's a voiceover resource guide. Holy moly! Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. I am Jay Preston, the creative director and of the voiceover resource guide, and Tim Friedlander here hosting is also a co-creative director of the voiceover resource guide, let alone all the myriad of other things like president of NAVA, and so much more. But today we are here to talk about the voiceover resource guide and what you do with it once you have it. Yes, it looks nice, very cool. I'll put it in my studio and not touch it ever. And that is what I did with it the first time I grabbed it many, many years ago. The first time I ever grabbed one was at the Voicecaster, actually. I was there for a workshop, and these were actually in the office of the Voicecaster when I found it, and this was 15 years ago. And I was like saying, "Oh, thanks so much for whatever," and then I turned around and there was a whole stack of them, and I was, "Oh, are they? Oh, take one." So I took one, and then I didn't use it for like 6 months. Then one day I needed to figure out a rate. Some client was asking me about rates, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I think there's rates in here." And I went in, and there was the SAG-AFTRA rates. So at that point, I was SAG-AFTRA, so I was like, "Oh, perfect. I'll just say this is my rate." And then I started to look into it, and I was like, "Oh, wait a second. There's a lot of different agencies I never knew of." So it became a tool for me to network and to find agents and to find recording studios, and it never left my side of my desk. You know, I always had it in a desk drawer. So I used it a lot, and it got me a lot of places, and I found a lot of training in this. So what I want to do today is go through as if, and this is more for not just for like up and coming actors and stuff like that. It's for the recording studios themselves, the agents, the training and tech, the demo producers. They all can use this. And in this day and age of like everything's at our fingertips on the websites, it's so nice to have something that's like kind of old school. This was created a long time ago in 1988 as a way for an actor to network. Then it evolved, and it now can still be used the same way it once was. Let's just talk about the most important thing for everyone, a lot of you who are listening. How do I win a microphone with this thing? Um, it's a new tradition I'm starting, and the amazing people over at Roswell Pro Audio donated a mini K87 to us. And so what I want to do is encourage everyone to actually be using this, telling people they're using it, taking a photo of it and being like, "Hey, I found a VORG at this crazy studio in Bend, Oregon." Um, and then when you do, we have our lovely Michelle Haynes is keeping track of when it's tagged on social media, or you can even email us a picture and say, "Hey, I went to a studio, told them that I found them in the VORG, and I just wanted you to know that I let them know." And then, bam, 2 entries for you. So we're just going to keep track of these all until the next VORG comes out, and the winner will be announced in the next VORG. Another reason for you to go grab the next one when it comes out. So on page 8 of your VORG, if you have it, it tells you how you can go about it. But I'm going to tell you right now. You just mention the VORG on social. Take a photo, hashtag the VORG77, which is this issue's number, and Roswell Pro Audio, hashtag Roswell Pro Audio, who is the person giving this incredible microphone. I have one. It's become one of me and Meg's favorite microphones. So nice and warm, this big, great for travel, comes in a box. It's amazing. Another way to get some entries into this is tell the service you found, either the training service or the demo production service or whoever you reached out to from the VORG. "Hey, I found you in the VORG, and I just wanted to blah blah blah." Then you can just tell us you did that, and we'll give you an entry. Or if they randomly tell us that, "Hey, Susie Hoosie told us that they found us in the VORG. That's awesome. I'm so happy it's working." Boom, we're giving Susie Hoosie 2 entries for that. Or go to a pickup location. You can go to the website, thevorg.net, go to the mega grid. It's a really fun little area where you can literally filter the entire VORG right there in front of you. One of the filters is VORG pickup location, and see if there's one near you. walk in, grab a VORG. If you already have one, walk in anyway, grab another one, give it to a friend of yours, snap a photo, post it, or just send us the photo that you were at the pickup location. And that's all the ways you can win a microphone just by using the VORG itself. Oh, and you don't need to have one of these in order to get entries either. The VORG website, thevorg.net. If you can, I mean, there's a lot more people on there. This just covers LA, New York, and Chicago, and a few little regionals. But there are a myriad of other services covering the whole United States and Canada on the VORG website. So, same kind of deal for that. We just want to get the word out that people are picking this thing up or going to the website and using it like they did back in 1988.
Exactly. And I'm looking at the VORG website right now. We have 793 listings on the map page right now. There's 793 listings of everything from coaches to agents to casting directors all over the world. We've got listings in Canada, the UK, and the United States right now, but adding more all the time.
As an actor, up and coming, or already was up, or I don't know. As an actor, you can visit the sponsors, right? So our sponsors are amazing. You can visit the sponsors. There's a little thing right here to go learn more about them. Visit the ads that are in here. There's so many, I mean, just flipping through, there's so many opportunities in here that are just like, I mean, I didn't even, there's some like this one, just Payba Productions, just showed up this year and it's brand new. So it's like, go learn from her. There's different studios. There's so much you can just flip through and look at. So just visit these ads, visit the people, see what's new, become a well-rounded actor, and don't just workshop in one area. I think it's really important to have different people's points of view mold you into the actor that you become. And so here's some do's and don'ts for agents. So you're an actor, you're looking for agents, right? And there's so many agents inside the VORG and on the website. Right up top, it says no unsolicited actor calls. So please don't just go through this VORG, grab the email address, and send blind submissions. Do a little work, do a little research, go to the website for the agents. This is how I ended up getting a bunch of agents when I first started using the VORG, is I would go to the websites. It takes some time, get a coffee, get a glass of wine, and take some time, go to the website, see their talent. Listen, if do they not have a voice print like yours? And if they don't, mark that into an agency I'm going to look more into. And you can go through all of these agencies, there's so many new ones. There's so many that I didn't even know existed. And so I would go to their website. I would see the talent that they have, listen to some guys. I'd listen to the whole roster really to see if I fit in that agency, right? If I do the work ahead of time, they don't have to send an email back saying that we already have 5 people that sound like you. And you got to be honest with yourself too, is there are people that sound like you. Tim the other day swore that I was this other guy who sent in an audition using a funny name or something. And it was not me, but he sounds like me. Great. But he's not me. So it's like, I get it. We all get it. We're all unique. But if there's like 5 people in an agency that sound in your wheelhouse, they might not have room for you. But there are so many agents that might not have your voice in their wheelhouse. So you just do the legwork and find those people. And then a lot of these agents have ways to submit on their website. And sometimes in here, it'll say submissions welcome. Because if agents come to us, we put this out once every 6 months. So if an agent says we're actually accepting talent, we'll put right on here now accepting submissions. But then just doing the work helps you not close that door, right? So there's anything to add to that, Tim, with agents?
Mute myself. Just to clarify that the top, it says no unsolicited calls. So we don't want people calling, you don't want to get on the phone and start calling agents. We've tried to do as best as we can to give everybody kind of a preferred method of contact. Michelle Haynes, who you've heard mentioned before, has spent a lot of time reaching out to these agencies on behalf of talent to ask them how they prefer to receive submissions. And as that changes, we'll update it, but you'll find that some of them, there's one in particular that only takes submissions through Facebook. There's a couple that only take through emails. Some have specific emails that they want to be contacted through. So I think probably the most important thing is to make sure that you do the research to know how how people want to be reached out to, and then just don't call and ask for. That's mainly what the up at the top says. Don't call and make unsolicited phone calls to agents. That's kind of one of the biggest things. So.
Yeah, perfect. And the same kind of goes for recording studios, right? We know that recording studios, a lot of them have their own talent roster, but you can't just email all the recording studios and say, hey, you want to be added on your roster. I mean, they already get about 200 of those emails a day. So using the VORG so somebody who uses the VORG could do it in a better way. Do a little research, visit that recording studio. You know, you're going to take a trip up to Oregon. Find out go to the website, find out what studios are on the VORG in Oregon and go in. We have 2 pickup locations in Oregon. A great reason to pop in. Hey, I just wanted to, I know you guys are a pickup location of the Voice of Resource Guide. You know, you could start a conversation there. And then maybe, do you guys have a talent roster? I'd love to just, you know, and then a personal connection is always better than a blind copy paste email. Another great thing for recording studios, the map search online. Our industry's most trustworthy, hugest map search. If wherever you're vacationing in the United States or Australia or whatever, we're going to keep adding more and more to the map. But wherever you are, it's like there's a studio. Let them know ahead of time. Hey, I found you on the Voice of Resource Guide. I'm an actor coming in. I'm going to be there for 2 weeks. If I need a studio, do you guys have? Do you have actor rates at all, or is it like if the client's paying, what's your rates, right? So you can start a conversation about like, I might bring you potential business, or I might just come record with you if I need to do auditions. Do you have like an audition rate? So many ways to make connections with recording studios that could potentially get you on a roster of their own talent, or just like make a nice connection with a recording studio. Always cool to go into recording studios in other states and when you're traveling and stuff like that. Like it's one of my favorite parts of a vacation sometimes is the part where I'm like, darn it, booked a job, need to find a record, and then like that becomes a really fun day. And we've done that many, many times. Any other do's and don'ts, Mr. Tim, on recording studios?
That's a good question. I get emails all the time, people sending for me. For Soundbox, we have an email that says if you want to submit, yeah. For casting, we send casting. We have a very small casting roster. We have a large casting roster. We just don't do a lot of casting. So, that's one of those things that that we kind of keep small. But other places have a larger roster. They do casting, so it's good to know which ones do and don't. And then also, one thing I would say is in these instances, we see a lot of people who take marketing courses and are working with, lots of marketing people. We almost always know when one of those marketing classes is finished because we get an influx of basically copy and paste emails that were built off somebody's template that they said, here, just use this template and go start reaching out to people. So if you're going to do that, or you're being part of one of those groups, the information is great. Just make sure that you're doing something that's unique to you and not just a generic template of an email that we're going to get from 5 other people, because it does happen. So just be aware. And I would say, I would reiterate what you said, Jay, is, ask if they have a talent rate, especially if you're, a lot of times, if you're traveling, you're paying out of pocket. Most studios that I know of will give a talent rate some kind of discount because they know that you as a talent are not covering the cost of production. Production usually has, a recording studio fee built into their original rate, so they've got that in there, and they can usually pay full, they pay full rate for that. But Soundbox has a discounted member rate, a talent rate. Most places that we know of has that. Just ask if they have a talent rate.
Yeah, a lot of recording studios, especially this day and age, aren't going to want to pass up any work that comes their way. So they'll usually do. Take it from me. I've been to a lot of studios around the country, and almost all of them have given me some sort of discount. Not saying that they will or they have to, but if you're nice, and you never know what happens. No, demo production. Shop around on demo production. There are so many demo producers out there. Listen, go to their websites again. Find their website in the VORG. Click demo producers, all the tags on the website. There are so many great, amazing demo producers